The 2nd century AD is the period from 101 AD to 200 AD, and historians classify it as part of the classical ancient era. As we mentioned in the previous section, the 1st century AD ended with the Roman Empire reaching its peak in territorial expansion. The 2nd century AD is known as the Roman Peace Era, or Pax Romana, because it was the golden age of Rome's dominance over the ancient world. During this period, 5 Roman emperors ruled, known as the 5 Good Emperors. This map shows the general shape of the world during the 2nd century AD, which remained largely unchanged from the 1st century. At the beginning of the 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire dominated southern and western Europe, all of North Africa, the Levant, Anatolia, and parts of Mesopotamia. By the 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire had become the world's leading superpower. The Roman emperors still adhered to the ancient Roman pagan religion, but by this time, Christianity began to spread throughout the empire's provinces. The second great superpower in the world was the Parthian Empire, which was the arch-enemy of Rome and controlled Mesopotamia, the Iranian Plateau, Western Arabia, Central Asia, the Baltic region, and the Caucasus. The Parthians practiced Zoroastrianism. Meanwhile, the Kushan Empire dominated Central Asia, with its rulers adopting Buddhism as their main religion. In the east of the Kushan Empire, the Han Chinese dynasty ruled, and the Tibetan kingdoms were under the influence of Taoism. In the Indian subcontinent, the Satavahana kingdom was prominent, while in East Africa, the kingdom of Meroea in Sudan and the kingdom of Aksum in Ethiopia were thriving. In southern Arabia, the Himyarite kingdom in Yemen existed. In Southeast Asia, several important kingdoms, including the Funan kingdom, were present. Meanwhile, in the southern hemisphere, significant civilizations in Central America emerged, such as the Maya and Uto-Aztecan cultures. This was roughly the world and the major kingdoms during the 2nd century AD. Now, let's explore some of the most important events of that time. At the beginning of the 2nd century, the Chinese made several important innovations, the most notable of which was the invention of paper, very similar to its current form, by a person named Kai Lun in 105 AD. In 106 AD, the Nabatean kingdom in the Levant was annexed into the Roman Empire. In 114 AD, a war broke out between the Romans and the Parthians, leading to the temporary Roman occupation of Armenia. In 116 AD, the Romans invaded Mesopotamia and entered the historical capital of the Parthians, Ctesiphon. This marked the greatest expansion of the Roman Empire in history. In 117 AD, Emperor Trajan died and was succeeded by one of the most important Roman emperors, Hadrian. In 120 AD, the Parthians regained control of Iraq from the Romans. In 117 AD, King Kanishka came to power in the Kushan kingdom, which reached its greatest territorial expansion during his reign. In 132 AD, a Jewish revolt broke out, led by Simon Bar Kokhba, and lasted for 3 years. It ended with the expulsion of the Jews from Jerusalem, an event known as the Romanization of the Jews. The city was transformed into a fully Roman city and was renamed Aelia Capitolina. In 161 AD, another war broke out between the Romans and the Parthians, ending in a Roman victory. In 165 AD, the Antonine Plague occurred during the Roman-Persian War, lasting for around 15 years and killing hundreds of thousands of people. In 166 AD, the Marcomannic War erupted between the Romans and the Germanic tribes along the Danube River. This marked the beginning of the Germanic tribes' rise and their threat to the Roman Empire. In 180 AD, Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good emperors, died. His death marked the end of the Pax Romana, and the Roman Empire began its gradual decline. In 184 AD, the Yellow Turban Rebellion broke out in China, weakening the Han Dynasty significantly. In 198 AD, another war broke out between the Romans and the Parthians, with the Romans advancing into Mesopotamia. The war ended with a peace treaty between Rome and the Parthians.